Welcome to Where There's a Wills.
There's a play.
I'm Ian,
I'm Stacey.
and we are here with our October monthly review. We are having a few issues here. We're not sure quite what's going on. So bear with us for just a minute as I make sure we are actually streaming because it does not. I'm not sure we actually are. Maybe we are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are. Are we live actually? I apologize. I don't know. There we go. Oops. Okay. All right. So we are live. All right. I don't know what was going on. It was not showing up in YouTube Studio and it wasn't streaming, so we had to restart. Um, but hey, we're here. you know, you can tell we're live because we're not sure what was going. I don't know what was going on. So
Story of
anyway,
my life.
yeah. So I don't know. So anyway, hopefully some people rejoin us. I know we had some people waiting. It says two are watching. So oh, but you got that. That's the two. No, because that one's not watching anymore. Oh, but we're watching here. Okay, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on. I guess we don't need this up then. Okay. I don't know. We were trying to bring it up on a different computer to stop. The other night we had some problems. It was not our computer was not charging as we were doing it, so we're trying to plug less stuff into the computer. And we brought up YouTube Studio on a different computer on a side screen so we could see comments and stuff, and it just wasn't working very well. So we're here with our October month in review. October was a slightly bigger month for us, or not? Yeah, gets a little bit bigger. The beginning of the month, I was the end of my volleyball season, and so that ended in the first week, and then I had conferences. Then I had kind of a week of just kind of decompressing from a very busy early school year, and then my board game club started back up 2 weeks ago. I'm in my third week, so that upped my gameplays. So for the month of October, I played 37 different games, a total of 74 times. 20 of them, I played 20 games at home 40 times. I played 7 games at school 11 times, and I played 16 games on BGA 23 total times. So yes, that adds up to 43 total games, but there were some that I played on both BGA and here or at school or BGA at school. So there was 30 overall. There was 37 different games, 74 plays, and I had 24 games played on the tabletop 51 times. So
Okay. Well, I am nowhere near that. I played 12 games or 12 different games for a total of 22 games. One was on BGA. I played 3 new to me games, so that wasn't too shabby. And then I played 3 new expansions as well.
oh
I
yeah,
was busy in the
I
expansion
forgot to
department.
mention. Yes, I had 3 expansions as well. We played 3 expansions. So
If I have expansions, you've got expansions.
yes, exactly. Since you
Just
don't,
how it rolls.
yeah, I don't know what's going on with this YouTube studio thing. It says we're live, but it's not letting me see the. Oh, of course, now our bit rate. I don't know what's going on. Why our bit rate is so low? Oh, it's not. It's finally showing us. All right. Anyway, so let's get into it. So, as always, I'm going to go over my top 10. Stacey's going to do her top 5. I'm going to do 10 through 6 fairly quickly. Um, with our month in reviews, we usually don't do honorable mentions. We just say what our top games played that month were. So starting at number 10, and actually 10 through 8 are all games that came to me through Board Game Club. They're games that I added this year to Board Game Club. First one is Spots. At my number 10, Spots is a game. You can tell kids played this because they put the lid on so that it's not the right way. So Spots is a game where you are rolling dice and placing them onto dogs. Dogs have spots. Dice have spots. So you place the spots on the dogs or on the dice onto the dogs, and then each game there are 6 different kind of powers you can do where you can roll dice differently, do different things with your dice. When you have a full dog, you can score it, and if and you can bury up to 7 pips on your dice. And if you go above that, you bust and you have to lose everything. So that is Spots, my number 10.
That is a press your luck kind of game.
It is a push your luck kind of game, yes. Press Your Luck was the game show.
No more whammies.
No whammies. My number 9 is also from Board Game Club. This is a party game that been having a lot of fun with the kids with this one. Can't wait to teach it to some teachers, and that is Green Team Wins. In Green Team Wins, you it's just what it says. Green Team wins. There's 2 teams, Green Team and Orange Team. You play 15 different questions throughout the game, and those questions are this or that questions. They are multiple choice, or they are a fill in the blank. If you are on the majority, you are on the green team and you win. If you're not on the majority, you are on the orange team. If you are on the orange team and you move to the green team, you earn 1 point. If you're on the green team and you stay on the green team, you earn 2 points. And you play 15 cards, and whoever has the most points wins. It is a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun playing this one with the kids at Board Game Club. Whether this one stays on my lists or not, we will see. And it could just be that it's new to me, and I'm really fun. I having fun with it. But it is a really fun game. And when I'm playing, I always have to think of, because you're not looking for the right answer, or you're not looking for the answer you would do. You're looking for what you think the most people would answer. And playing with 4th and 5th graders, I have to think like a 4th and 5th grader when I play this game. So
which is common for you.
Yeah, probably. So that is Green Team Wins.
I'd want to be on Orange Team personally.
Yes, Orange Team doesn't win; they lose. You don't get any points if you're on Orange Team. And the next one, my number 8, is also a new one to me this month. From my board game club at school that I got. I've heard about this game for quite some time, and I've wanted to play it, and so I got it for my board game club, so I could play it and so I could teach the kids. I've also started a thing at school where some teachers are coming in on Wednesdays afternoons just to take a little time for themselves, just to have a little fun, and had some returning people this last week, and that is Blob Party. Blob Party is a 4 to 8 player game where each person starts with a little blob, and you have 2 piles of cards. One is a category, one is a word. You have to come up with a word or something that goes with both of them. It could go with both of them together. It could go with both of them separately. You could have something where you're like, oh, it goes with this one and this one, but not necessarily those 2 things, the category and the word, not necessarily going together with what you came up with. If you match with someone, you blob with them and you become one blob. You start working as a team. So I've played this with adults. I've played this with kids. I've played it with a mixture of adults and kids. It's a lot of fun. We had one game where we ended up with 6 people on one team and 1 person on another a couple times. Then we ended up with one where it was 4 and 3. We had one the other day where it was like 2, 2, and 2. So it's a lot of fun. That is Blob Party. Great party game. Really, really like that one. That one has been a lot of fun. My number 7 game is one we have talked about quite often. That comes to us from KTBG. Well, I guess I should say Spots is from CMYK, I guess. Green Team Wins is a Goliath game with 25th Century, and Blob Party is Wiz Kids. My number 7 game is one from Kids Table Board Gaming. We played live. We played live in October in this game. Also taught this to the person who is helping me out this year with Board Game Clubs, so we can get more kids involved. And also taught it to several kids. We modified it a little bit to make it a little bit easier for them and a little more accessible. That is Diced Veggies. In Diced Veggies, you have a block of dice that are different colors that represent different vegetables. You are trying to take them away. You are trying to take them with your cleaver so that you can make recipes. And then there are some hype cards that you play with that we play with when we play together. So you can hype them up by doing special things. When we play with the kids, we take those out. We don't even use the token that allows you to change the dice value, because you don't need to, or the color, because it's just much more. It's easier for them to play and more accessible. Later in the year, we'll probably start adding some of those things in, but that is Diced Veggies, my number 7. And my number 6 was a game that I introduced to Stacey earlier this year. And we got the expansion and we played a couple times with the expansion and love the expansion. The expansion has been really good. I think Stacey probably gonna be surprised this is this low. That is Beacon Patrol, and we have the Ships and Shores expansion. I'm trying to hold this so that it doesn't pop open on us. So Beacon Patrol is a tile laying game where you have to move your boat around, and when you lay a tile, you have to move it to it. You get some little propeller tokens, so you can move without placing a tile. The Ships and Shores expansion adds variable boat powers and also some new tiles to put in with each boat. We played twice with the expansion. Each time we each played with a different boat, and oh my god, it was so much fun playing with these new boats and trying to do things. So, Beacon Patrol, that is my number 6, and that comes to us from Pandasaurus Games. All right, moving on to our top 5, and now Stacey's gonna start us off with her number 5.
My number 5 is a game that the first time I played it, I hated it because I didn't understand the concept of it. But then once I played it again, and then I played it again, I really liked it. And now it's moved into my top 5 favorite games for October. For October. And that is by KTBG Games. And that's Haunt the House. So you have different ghosts, you have different houses that are in there, and you are a ghost that's trying to scare the ghost hunter out of the house by tricking it with using cards, either face up or face down. The ones that are face down are secret cards. The cards that are face up are open cards, and you have to match the characters that are on the card. And then you have to figure out if you want to um, like earn that house. I don't know how to
scare them. You're scaring. You're scaring them off. You're just scaring them off.
I don't know how to explain this very well, so hang with me on that one. But yeah, so you're trying to scare them off, and if you match it, then you win that ghost hunter, and then the points at the end add up with a bunch of other stuff. But Hunt the House, it's a fun game. I think a lot of people will enjoy it. If you're like me, you have to play it a couple times in order to know if you like a game. But this one, I really enjoyed it. So Haunt the House by KTBG, my number 5.
And that we have access to that through my board game color school. So I brought it home Halloween season, so I brought it home so I could teach it to the kids. And yeah, that is a good one. That one just barely missed my top 10.
Oh.
Like I mean, it was up there for sure. I do enjoy that one. That was a lot of fun. My number 5 was not new to us this month. It must have been new to us or maybe it was new to us. It isn't marked out. It isn't marked on the public bill. I think it was new to us this month. And this is a game that includes some tokens and some animals, and that is Harmonies. So in Harmonies, you are placing these tokens on one side of your map, and you are trying to put them in certain configurations so you can match up with how each animal needs things, and then you take the cubes and you can place them on things, and you score based on each habitat type scores a little bit differently. So I really like the variable scoring. I like the animal cards and like, okay, well, which animal cards can I take to work with other animal cards so that I can maybe place cubes here, but then I can also still use this other part of this to maybe place a cube here. It's almost like reverse Cascadia because it's almost got a Cascadia type feel to it, with the animals and the habitats. Really enjoy this game. I've been playing this quite a bit on BGA as well. Once I learned it, I have one game of it going right now actually on BGA. So that is Harmonies, my number 5.
Okie dokie, artichoke. My number 4, moving
like stuff
right
is
along.
falling out of there, so
Oh, we don't want to fall out.
you're gonna grab that.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, schnickies. Having a domino effect over here.
And it took out our microphone too.
So unorganized. Number 4 for me. Look at that. I can't even remember what it was. I just looked at it. Is a game that has already been discussed. My number 4 is Dice Veggies. I love this game. I like rolling the dice. I think the dice are genius on how they did it. They did the dice to match the vegetables that they are. Um, and then you can, like Ian said, you can hype it up by using a hype card. And hype card, oftentimes, um, you collected, let's say you needed a 5, 4, and a 3 in order to make that recipe. So you have to get a 5, a 4, or 3 on that recipe. And then if you do, sometimes you can get a like extra bonus points for that if you hype it with that particular card. Um, Hype cards do me wrong, so I hate hype cards. I never get good ones. But anyway, Dice Veggies, fun for the whole family by KTBG.
Our whole list is going to be KTBG at this point.
No, it's not.
I know it's not. All right, my number 4 was another new to me game. Got to the table a couple times this month. I hope to get it to the table more, but the month went by really fast, surprisingly, until the last week here. And this is the latest one from Stonemeyer Games, and that is Stamp Swap. Stamp Swap is an I Cut You Choose. I have only played this solo, but I think the way that Automa Factory did the solo mode in this with the I Cut You Choose is just genius. I really do, with the way the Automa bids on different things, and you are placing different color. You're drafting and you're doing I cut you choose with some tiles, and then you're placing them onto your stamp board. Um, at the end of each day, you're going over 3 days over a stamp convention. At the end of each day, you score. I think this is a really interesting part too, because this gets a little variability into things. What happened is there's 4 different scoring things. There's one on color, one on shape, one on size, I think. Um, I don't remember what the 4 are, but at the end of each day, you get to choose which one you are scoring. So you may go, you know what? I'm going to take a low score on this one because I'm going to build up to higher things on 2 of these other ones, and I want this one last. Um, so I'm going to score this one on Sunday, which is the last day, and I'm going to build up to that one. So I want to make sure I hold that one back, and I'm okay not getting very many points on Fridays that I'm going to score. But each person can do whichever 3 they want over the weekend. There's 4 total. So depending on how many people, I mean, if you're playing with up to 5 people, you could all be doing different 3 and in different orders. And then there's a final show scoring card that everybody scores as well. You earn points as you're placing things. You earn points at the end of the rounds. So it is a lot of fun. I really enjoy this game. I want to get this to the table more. Hoping maybe Stacey will play it once, but I don't know. We'll see. But it's a really fun game. Can't wait to get to the table more. That is Stamp Swap by Stonemeyer Games.
This coming up. Maybe I'll play a game with you on your birthday.
Yeah, in like 8 months.
It's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up.
My number 3 game. This is going to be surprising. I know. It's going to be a very surprising game for everybody. Is by this new game company that I've just found called KTBG Board Games. I haven't talked about any of them. Cafe Veris. I love this game. I've talked about it in multiple videos, and so I won't go into. I don't, not assuming that you've all seen all of our videos, so I should not assume that. But anyway, you're a Barris, you're Kappa Barris, running a cafe with Barris as the maker of good things. And in order to buy goods to put into your restaurant, you have to purchase things to go into what I call the case of the restaurant. And then when the customers come in, they have to you have to be able to fulfill their orders with their cards. And these have a double use card. So you have to know how to use a double use card in order to play it. And I just learned how to do that by using this game. So I now added a new kind of game to my
multi-use. But yes, double use because this one is 2, so multi-use. Yeah.
Okay.
They go but double use makes sense because it's 2 different things.
Okay, we'll go with it. But I forgot what I was going to say now.
you learned a new.
Oh
A
yeah, so
new.
a new style of game with the
Yep.
multi-use game
Yep.
cards. So that was a big deal for me. But this is my number 3 game, and I highly recommend it. It is for 2 to 4 or 2 to 4 players, I think. Yes, 2 to 4 players. I just went to the eye doctor on Saturday. My prescription.
It's dark
has
behind
changed,
us, so it's
and it's dark. But my prescription changed, so I've been having a tough time seeing. But yeah, so Cafe Barris, I highly recommend it. And I'll
This
just
is
hand
also
it to
my number 3 game,
Ian.
Cafe Barris. So as
Good.
Stacey said, this is a really fun new game by Kids Table Board Gaming. Um, we ended up with a lot of Kids Table Board Gaming this month because we did a live stream. We played Cafe Barris, Dice Veggies, and Food Fighters all in one night, and so that's why we had ended up with several of these, and then Haunt the House with it being Halloween. I wanted to teach that to some kids. So yeah, Cafe Barris multi-use cards. The top of the card is what you're paying to put that into your cafe, whether it's the decor or the different food types. You have sweets, you have coffee, you have tea, you have soups, sandwiches, cold drinks, and I think I'm missing one, but I'm not sure.
Drinks.
Well, coffee and tea are separate. So,
yes, they are.
and then the bottom of the card has a chalkboard on it, which says what different customers want in order to come to when they come to your cafe. So when you play those, you get paid for each one you match. Some of those also have hearts on them. So if let's say you are serving a customer that wants tea, and you have 4 teas in your restaurant or in your cafe, and it has a heart on it, you actually get $4 for that, not just or 4 coins for that, not just one. And then you want to get regulars into your cafe. So the way you get regulars is by being able to serve them all 3 items they want and having the decor. There are 3 different decors, and having the decor, and then it becomes a regular. And in a 2-player game, the first person to get 4 regulars triggers the end game. So really fun game. Love the multi-use cards in these. But yeah, that is Cafe Barris by Kids Table Board Gaming. All right, on to our number 2s.
Number 2. Oh my gosh. Is not a KTBG game. And
well, there's only one other KTBG game left, and I would have been shocked if it was above those last 3.
No. Is by Grandpa Beck. And that is The Bears and the Bees. We tried to play this the other night.
Yeah, we live streamed Toil and Troubles and the first round of this on Wednesday, and then we realized we were having some serious issues, and we realized it was because the computer was not actually charging or staying charged, so it was almost dead. So we think that's what the problem was the other night. So
yes. But basically, you have your queen bee in the middle, and you start out with 9 cards or 9, whatever they want.
Tiles. They call them tiles. They're hexagonal cards.
But you start out with 9 octagonal cards, and you have to match the colors.
6.
You start with your 9 cards that are shaped in 6-sided shapes. And you have to match it into your queen bee, and then you have to grow out from there. You have to put a card on a card that's already been laid down. You can't just put one on the other side with nothing on it. If you come across a drone or a bear, or what's the other one?
There's a flower. So there's drones, there's worker bees, there's flowers, and the bears.
Else. Yes. Then those can work for you, or they can work against you.
Yep.
Fun game, plays quick. It's a good weeknight game for the whole family. Takes maybe 20 to 30 minutes to play.
Yeah.
Maybe for 2 people.
Yeah, I would say yeah, probably.
It's a quick
at
one.
most 10 minutes per round, depending on how many.
Yeah. And the thing I like about this is that you just have to match the colors. There's no certain shapes or anything. You don't have to do it in a certain pattern. You just have to make sure the red side matches the red side, the blue side matches the blue side. And if you get 3 that are in I don't know what shape that is. where you have three sides matching, then you
Oh yeah,
get an
if you slide one in and you've touched three other cards.
Yeah, then you get an extra turn. So there's different strategies that you can use to play this game. But that's Bears and the Bees by Grandpa Beck for my number 2.
Right. My number 2 is a game I learned earlier this year on Board Game Arena and immediately loved it, and found out that the physical version was going to have a solo mode, so that made me very excited to be able to play this game solo. It has become an instant hit. We also did some expansions with this one, and that is River Valley Glassworks. Oh, I forgot how heavy this was. So in River Valley Glassworks, you are trying to fill your or put as many pieces of glass on your board as possible by taking them from the river. And then when you, I really like this mechanic because what you do is you place a piece in the river based on the shape, and then you take all of the pieces off of one of the tiles that is next to it, and then that tile goes to the end of the river and everything gets slid forward. And then you are placing them on your board based on the color, and you want to try and get as far along each row as possible, but also as far as high as you can in the columns further down because they're worth more points. There's 8 different colors when you're playing 2 players, but there's only 7 different columns. If you get any extras that you can't place, any extra colors, or any extra things that you can't place because you've already filled those columns, they're overflowing, you lose points. We also played with a couple of the expansions separately, which gave you some extra powers, and I'm really excited to dive into those more. You can play with up to 2 of them at once. Cool. You start the game with 3 pieces of glass. Thank you. And then on your turn, you can either place a piece of glass or you can grab 4 from the river. You can only have 5 in your pan at a time. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. The expansion, the sundries and other whatever it's called, the sundries and other river things or something. I can't remember exactly what it's called. It was really fun because one of them, it gave you extra points for, you each had a separate shape, and if you had that, what you got extra points for having that shape in your glassworks. One of them allowed you to when you placed a shape or something, you could take an extra one from the river and place it directly in your glassworks. So I'm really excited to play more of those. The solo mode in this is really fun as well, so I'm excited to play this more solo as well. Excited to get it to the table a lot more. I think this one's going to be a game that we play quite often. This will be probably a weeknight game. It plays pretty quick. You play until someone has 15 pieces of glass, and that triggers the end. So that is River Valley Glassworks by All Play.
So that means I'm going to my number 1.
That means you're going to your number 1.
All right. My number 1 is a game that is new to me this month, I think.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know what it is? Why you
Because
don't know what it is?
Because it's going to be one of these two, and I'm going to be shocked if it's the one. No, whatever.
Can't pick it up. Oh my gosh, that is heavy. River Valley Glassworks. And it's not just because it has animals. For those of you who have watched my videos before, basically the rule is if there's an animal in it, it's one of my favorites.
And if there's an otter in it, it's above the other animal games. She always plays as the otter. Mm-hmm. Which is good because the animal you play as doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything different.
So. There's no powers for different animals.
She can play as the otter every time.
Yeah. But I do like this game for all the reasons that Ian said. You kind of have to plan for things. You have to see what's coming up and what is already on the board and what colors you have on your board. Because like you said, there's 8 slots, but there's only 7 places for you to place. And when you place tokens on that you don't have, then you do lose 3 points, I think, per one in there. You can only have 3 in there, I believe. And then you end if you get 3 in there.
No, you can have as many as you want in the overflow.
Oh, that's no good. Okay, no. I thought it was 3. But no. Anywho, I love this game. The pieces are made very well. Yeah. And I don't know if that's just because we have the
We have the deluxe
starter.
version. We do not have the super deluxe with the actual glass pieces. I didn't feel like we needed those.
You probably just break them anyway.
Probably, you know. But we just have we do have the deluxe. But those
The
pieces.
little bear in here is just adorable.
Yeah. So the stuff is it's a really well made game.
Yeah. So one thing that Ian was talking about is when you pick your glassworks off of one piece and you move everything, and the one in the front goes to the back, well, then you draw more pieces to put on there out of the bag, so that it's constantly changing.
Yeah. So the shape matters for placing onto the river.
Mm-hmm.
The color matters for placing in your board, which I really like because otherwise you always end up with the same shape on things unless it moves to the end. That's the only way you get a different shape on a different thing. But yeah.
And then your tallest two columns scores, and then
all of your rows score as long as you're going from left to right.
Yes. So. And you can't skip a column. You have to fill it from left to right. But anywho.
Oh, and some of the glass pieces are more common than others. Yes. So you want to try and get those further down because hopefully you can get those columns higher. Although orange is one of the two least common colors, and we seem to draw every single orange
every single time.
Like I think there's 9 of them in there or something. That's and funny. I swear we've had like 7 or 8 of them every time we've played this game. It is really weird that the orange always comes up. Happens to be her favorite color, so weird coincidence that the orange we're like oh look, we got like 5 orange out here already, and it's like the 3rd round.
My ghost from Haunt the House is coming to help me.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Great game. Yeah. Wonderful game. My number 1 is another new to me game. Comes to me from another one of my favorite companies for solo gaming, and that is from Thunderworks Games. This one's been sitting on the shelf for a little while since it arrived earlier this year. And that is Stone Spine Architects. In Stone Spine Architects, you are trying to make a dungeon, become the best dungeon maker. In the solo mode, you are playing against JL, and he doesn't make a dungeon, but he does score. So you've got to kind of figure out what you need to do so that he doesn't score as much. And I did not do very good at that. He whooped me every time I played him, but I really like this game. This has been this is a huge hit for me. It's moving up my games that are in the world of Ulos pretty quickly. When I do that ranking at some time and play all those in a short amount of time, I think this one's gonna move up pretty high. I think it's probably sitting at number. Well, I don't. It's probably sitting at number 3 of the 6 games I have right now. So yeah, it's a really great game. You are placing you're drafting, you're blind drafting some cards, one less than or one more than the amount of spaces you have, and then you are placing one, and it's all you get to keep one. Normally, I think in the multiplayer you're passing it to the next player, so it's like a pick and pass, and then they take one and you kind of pass it around. But in solo, you get to keep one, and the rest get discarded if they don't have this color that JL needs that round. So you got to kind of keep an eye on all that stuff. You're scoring based on your on 3 bonus cards that you get throughout the game. You can get some different things to put onto your dungeon spots, and you're also scoring at the end based on how many of the cards have a track back to the start and the finish. The goal is to hopefully have all 16 cards going to both, because then you get 16 points for the start and the finish, so it's 32 extra points. I did it once. But yeah, I really love this game. It is a lot of fun. I'm one day I will beat GL. We will see. But been a lot of fun. Stone Spine Architects from Thunderworks Games. So there you have it. There's our October month in review. So what let's start with what surprised you on your own list.
What surprised me on my own list?
Yes. What surprised you on your own list?
Haunt the House.
Haunt the House?
And I'm surprised that Beacon Patrol didn't get in my top
Oh,
5.
I just realized that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Haunt the House or Beacon. Okay.
Yeah.
That I will say that is a surprise to me as well. Yeah. I'm surprised that none of your KTBG games were number 1 or 2. Although I will say number two because I do know that you really have enjoyed River Valley Glassworks. Even though you do have to do some planning, and that's not usually your type of game, but I know how much you've really enjoyed playing this. Um, so I'm not so surprised that River Valley did make it to number one. I'm surprised that Dice Veggies or Cafe Barris was not number two. But I do know how much you like Bears and the Beast, so not a huge surprise. I think maybe Cafe Barris being over Dice Veggies might be a little bit of a surprise, just because of the multi-use cards.
That gets confusing. Even as many times, I haven't played it like a crap ton of times, but I played it more. Played it a few times, and every time I play it, I still get confused with the multi-use cards. I still try.
I think we almost have to play it like a lot in a row so that it gets in your mind. But
maybe I don't know. But yeah, that still confuses me after a few times, even so. One of these days I'll play a full game and not try and sell something I'm supposed to be buying.
Yeah. So let's see. On my list, I was surprised that um, 3 games from my board game club made my top 10. We had played spots twice, I think, on Board Game Arena a while back. And the fact that both the party games, I thought maybe one might because I have really liked playing them. They're a lot of fun. I thought maybe Haunt the House might make it. It didn't quite make it. I think Cafe Bears being so high on mine at number 3 was a little of a surprise.
Yeah, that surprised me on yours as well.
My game, I mean, my list was full of multiplayer games though. Like really, my top 10 had 2 games that I only play solo: Stone Spine Architects and Stamp Swap. So it really is a list of games like number 2, number 3, number 6, number 5, number 7. We all played together. Like we played all those together. And 8, 9, and 10 I played at school. So like we had a lot. So now, yeah. So I think that's kind of like the big one. Um, Other than that, not much else. Maybe Stamp Swap not being higher. I mean, I always my Stonemaier games usually rise to the top, and I really do like the I Got You Choose. I think on any day, my top 4 could have been in any order.
Depends on what day you do them,
and how fresh they are. I think some of them are a little more fresh in my mind, but I mean, any 4 of those top 4 probably could be. And Harmony is getting up there as well. So, but yeah, there's my 10. So we predicted before we went live how many crossovers we would have. And I said that 4 of my top 10 would be on her top 5. And I was wrong.
I hate when you're wrong.
Because
he had more.
Beacon Patrol did not make her top 5.
Oh, yeah.
I thought River Valley Glassworks, Cafe Bears, Beacon Patrol, and Dice Veggies would be in her top 5. I really did. I did not see Haunt the House coming. I knew this. I mean, and the others, I did not see Haunt the House overtaking Beacon Patrol.
And for mine, I'm surprised that Draphosaurus wasn't higher because I really kind of liked Draphosaurus.
So our theme in October was dinosaurs. So we had our theme while our showcase was. So we had a lot of dinosaur themes.
So I'm surprised that Draphosaurus wasn't up here somewhere, but maybe next time.
I'm kind of surprised. Just looking at her total list, I'm surprised it was behind the one that's right in front of it.
Spots?
I'm surprised Spots beat it out. But yeah, we're kind of looking at each other's lists here, but yeah.
I predicted we'd have 3.
You did. And I think you... that one's not in your top 5, though.
Which ones were going to be in my top 10? Well, that's what you said.
No, I said which of your top 5... So you predicted 2.
No.
Which of your top 5 would be in my top 10? So you got 2. And you got 2. Because those are the only 2 that were in my top 10.
Guess.
So...
Okay.
Yeah.
But I have really come to like Grandpa Beck games, and I really liked Toils and Troubles, but we didn't play that in this. Well, we played it. That was
we played it this.
November.
We played it this week, so
So that doesn't count. But yeah, I guess I'm a KTBG kind of gal.
Yeah, it ended up because we live played it. We wanted to do something the games we really knew, and that was one thing we wanted to live play. And then with Haunt the House, um, we needed to play it again so I could remember how to play it to teach the kids. So it did end up being kind of a KTBG heavy month because of those two things. So
And
yeah,
they're easy to get to the table.
they are. They're really easy to the table. Maybe we'll play Haunt the House this weekend while I have it home.
Okay.
Um. Anyway, yeah. So if you have any, what do you think about our lists? What do you think about the games on them? Let us know what you think. Leave us a comment below. If you have any suggestions based on our lists, leave them down in the comments as well. If you like this video and want to see more, please hit that subscribe button up above. And if you want to see the rest of our 5 and dimes, you can follow that link. Once again, this has been Where There's a Wills.
There's a play.
My name's Ian.
I'm Stacey.
And we'll see you next time.
At the table.